Rizwan Khan, a Muslim, grew up with his brother, Zakir, and his widowed mother, Razia, in a middle-class family in Borivali, Mumbai. His autism leads to special tutoring from a reclusive scholar and extra attention from his mother. All of which leads to a heightened level of jealousy from Zakir, who eventually leaves his family for a life in San Francisco. Despite this, Zakir sponsors Rizwan to come and live with him after their mother's death. Zakir's wife Hasina diagnoses Rizwan as having Asperger syndrome. Rizwan also begins to work for Zakir's. He meets Hindu woman Mandira Rathod and her young son Sameer, born from a previous marriage. Despite Zakir's uncertainty, they marry and live in the fictional Banville, adopting Rizwan's surname as theirs. They also live next door to the Garrick family. Sam is close to their young son, Reese. The Khan's perfect existence gets disrupted following the September 11th attacks. Mark goes to cover the war in Afghanistan but dies there. At the same time, the Khans begin to experience the post-9/11 firsts prejudice. And Reese begins to avoid and eventually turn against Sam. In turn, Sam attempts to reconcile with Reese, which one day leads to a confrontation between the two that leads to an eventual fight on a soccer field, where a bunch of older students attack Sam, despite Reese's pleas for them to stop, which falls on deaf ears. One of them kicks a football at Sam, rupturing his spleen and killing him. A grieving Mandira starts to blame Rizwan, stating that Sam died solely because of Rizwan's surname. Consequently, when Rizwan asks what he can do to help, Mandira sarcastically tells him that to be back together, he has to tell the people and President of the United States that his name is Khan and he is not a terrorist. Rizwan, taking her seriously, thus sets out on a road trip to first meet President George W. Bush and later President-elect Barack Obama. He travels to the fictional Wilhelmina, Georgia, and befriends Mama Jenny and her son Joel. While at a mosque in Los Angeles, he overhears violent rhetoric from a Dr. Faisal Rahman who is quoting religious texts, and angrily defies Faisal's statements before walking out to drop a message for the Federal Bureau of Investigation, FBI, while waiting in a crowd at UCLA to meet President Bush. He says, "My name is Khan and I am not a terrorist." Uddharan Chinh. Repeatedly, he is arrested due to misinterpretation as, "I am a terrorist." Rizwan is interrogated as a terrorist suspect but is released after a media campaign by Indian student reporters Raj, Komal and Bobby Ahuja, who prove his innocence by revealing his attempts to inform the FBI about Faisal. After his release, he returns to the hurricane-hit Wilhelmina to help Mama Jenny, Joel, and everyone there, attracting media attention. Reese, seeing Rizwan on TV, finally confesses to Mandira his knowledge of what happened to Sam, and reveals the identity of the boys who killed him. She informs Detective Garcia, who has been assisting her on the case, and the boys, including Reese, are arrested. Uddharan. Mandira joins Rizwan in Georgia. At the moment she arrives, Rizwan is stabbed by one of Faisal Rahman's followers who accuses him of being a traitor to Islam, and is hospitalized. Rizwan survives and meets Obama, who tells him, "Your name is Khan and you are not a terrorist." Rizwan in turn tells that not only him, his son Sameer was not a terrorist. Obama apologizes to him for the problems that happened to them. Uddharan.